Well, good evening and welcome back to another Late Nights with Warm Whiskey. Tonight we are going to cover something a little different. I am a big fan of Scotch and Islay Scotches in particular. Was in a mood this evening and decided I was going to break out something peaty, something bold, and not what I have been drinking as of late. A lot of bourbon, rye, some single malts. Actually been on a Speyside kick. Love the Tamdu batch strength, cask strength. But tonight we are going to try a little bit of cask strength Laphroaig, which happens to be the first peated Scotch that I was ever introduced to. So, and it holds a special place in my heart for a point in time in the manner in which I was exposed to that peated Scotch for the first time. And tonight we will have a little of the original cask strength 10-year batch 9, bottled in February of 2017. These have become a little bit harder to track down as of late. I guess I should have been flipping and winning the cork on this one. Still in pretty good shape. Not too bad. So the first time I actually had some peated Scotch, I, at that point in time, had, drank some bourbons, drank a lot of Irish whiskey, was really a big Irish whiskey guy at that point in time. Now I happened to find myself in the position that I'm in now, and right before that, or right as that was occurring, was actually having an after party celebration of life get together for my mother who had passed, and we were at a local establishment that didn't really have anything that suited my fancy. So my brother spied this sitting on the back of the bar, and he said, "Oh yeah, you need to try that." I think he pronounced it at the time Laphroaig or Laphroaig or something along those lines. We know it is Laphroaig, but nonetheless, I went ahead and ordered a pour of that Laphroaig, and at that very moment I was captivated. It was like smelling something from a past life. Like, it was so familiar. It was a prefixed memory, just in the smell and aroma of that pour, that first experience of it. And Laphroaig to me is a little bit brackish, swampy, but you get the peat, the smoke, the earthiness coming from Laphroaig. And I have a special place in my heart for it. The Laphroaig 10-year was the first I tried. It was not the cask strength at that point in time. But this evening, we are going to go in and give you a little nosing and taste of the Laphroaig 10-year cask strength. The nose on this is absolutely amazing. Really, now this bottle's halfway down, and this is getting to the point where I should do something, transfer it to another bottle or gas this bottle to preserve it. I've nursed this one for quite some time. I'm getting a really good fruit note coming out of the nose of this, which is not what I remember from this. And I haven't had a pour of this in quite some time, so there's the fruit, the peat. Nothing swampish or brackish going on with this at this point in time at all, but I mean, I guess kind of a tingling effervescence to the nose. The fruit, the peat. Well, let's have a poll. Wow. What a sensation. What a mouthfeel. 116.2, 58.1% alcohol by volume. Here's a wonderful, really rich, creamy, earthy note. The fruit takes a little bit of a back side to that when it arrives on the palate. And there's much more of that earthy peat of Laphroaig. If you've had Laphroaig, it has its own signature flavor compared to an Ardbeg or your Lagavulin. Each one of those do a very good job at keeping their signature flavors unique within that peated spectrum of whiskey. And to get this at cask strength, because your standard 10-year Laphroaig is usually 43%, so 86 proof, which credit due for it at least being that, because I believe those in the European Union and other markets get it at a 40%, so 80 proof. But the nose, the finish on this is just amazing. I'm still getting that taste. I took a pretty big, moderate swig of that to chew for a little while, and it's fantastic. So I know a lot of my customers and a lot of the guys in my Facebook group are bourbonites. They're heavy bourbon drinkers. Some venture into the spicy world of the rye. But Scotch has a wonderful breadth of flavors. So not all Scotches are smoky and peaty. And in fact, the majority of Scotches are not smoky or peaty. So if you do not find yourself a fan of Scotch, you just haven't found the right Scotch for yourself and your palate. So I always pride myself at trying to get that through to customers and introducing them into the world of Scotch and Irish whiskey and encouraging them to venture outside of their bourbon dome that they have placed themselves in. And the same is true for Scotch drinkers. They need to get out of their Scotch dome and try some ryes, try some bourbons, try some Irish whiskeys. I am open to trying any whiskey that's out there. And if you can find some Laphroaig Cask Strength, please do yourself a favor and give them your money and take it on sightseeing. You won't regret it. That is, unless you don't like the peat. And if you do regret it, you're free to bring that bottle to me and I will gleefully dispose of it for you. Well, we're going to keep this short at that. I'm going to keep the variety of whiskeys that I keep reviewing and doing these videos on, swinging from all different fields and all different directions. So until the next time, enjoy yourselves. Skål!